What's up you guys, it's Alex here. It's been a while and it's time to revive this channel back from the dead. We are back, baby. So today we're gonna talk about something very interesting. We're gonna talk about passive income and the top 5 ways to make passive income with $1,000. Every wealthy person, every business owner and every investor, they pray for it, they dream about it, and they hope they have it. And that is the foundation of every investor that wants to make money, and that is nothing else than passive income. So you see, passive income is almost like magic, because passive income makes you money while you sleep, while you cook, while you walk. For doing practically nothing, you make money, and you hear this sound in your bank account. Especially if you're in the beginning of your financial journey, that excitement that you'll get from making that tiny little bit of passive income, that's gonna show you that you don't need to depend anymore into the paycheck, it makes all the difference. It makes your heart so warm on the inside that you get addicted to it. Imagine sleeping and making money just by passive income. I'm telling you, as soon as you start enjoying the benefits of that passive goodness in your bank, you're gonna get almost addicted to it.
Or it's just me.
So let's go over 5 different ways you can make passive income right off the bat with $1,000. Before I start naming them, I wanna tell you a secret that wealthy people know. Shh, come closer. Rich people don't work for money. They let money work for them. And they smash the like button down below. Now here's a full disclaimer. $1,000, although it's a good lump sum of money, don't expect to be making crazy returns just by investing $1,000. The journey of investing requires reinvestment, discipline, and most importantly, requires you to learn from other people. People who have already done it and they've done it successfully. So the things I'm going to talk about is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but if you understand the principles of the thing I'm going to talk about, you can apply this to a bigger or a smaller scale according to your budget or your risk tolerance. So with that said, the first way to make passive income with $1,000 is the oldest trick in the book, and that is dividend stocks, which means that you buy into a stock that pays you a dividend, usually every 4 months. This means that you're buying into a company, and now because you're a minority owner of that company, you are entitled to a small amount of the profits that the company generates. And the way that this company pays you out this amount is by dividends. So for example, if you go out and buy an Intel stock, now it's just like you own 1 out of the 4 billion of Intel. And now since you're a minority owner and you own a very small percentage, Intel is gonna pay you back a very small percentage of the profit in the form of dividends, usually every 4 months. Now, not all companies pay dividends, but there are some companies out there that they're really valuable and they reward you with dividend yield too. Here are some of them. Apple pays you a dividend of 0.71%, Intel pays you a dividend of 2.67%, Medifast pays you a dividend of 2.82%, and Edison International pays you a mind-blowing amount of 4.93%. In other words, this means that if you go out and buy $1,000 worth of Intel stock, now this means that you'll get rewarded annually in dividend stock $26.70 in passive income. This might not sound like a lot of money. You cannot even go out and buy Starbucks for a whole week with that. Shout out to Keurig machines. But this is money that you get paid for doing absolutely nothing, and it's passive income. And if you buy into a good stock like Intel or many other companies that's going to appreciate over time, and the value of the stock is going to appreciate, now it's a win-win, because you get to enjoy the appreciation of the value of the stock if you sell it, and the dividend payment that you get annually. Another example of that is if you go out and buy $1,000 worth of Apple stock, now you'll get paid $7.10 in dividends every year. Now that's not a lot of money, but if the stock market appreciates, let's say 7%, so now congratulations, you picked up a dividend stock of $7 and some cents plus $70 extra yearly. Before I move on to the next way of making passive income, I just want to mention a very painful matter here, and that is
Taxes.
Now taxes are very painful, and for many people that they invest in different places, they know and they feel the pain of it. If you choose to go that route, and if you choose to invest into the stock market, please make sure you do it into a Roth IRA or a 401k, so you minimize your tax bill. Another thing is, if you're planning on buying companies, buy companies that you plan to hold for over a year, because then the sale is not being taxed as an ordinary income, but is considered capital gains, and this is taxed in a way lower rate than the usual ordinary income rate. Lastly, it's a great thing to have a good CPA near you to help you minimize the tax bill. So moving on to the next thing, guys, the second thing that you can do with $1,000 making passive income is one of my personal favorites, and that is buying index funds. Index funds are very similar to stocks, but they offer a huge selection of companies within them. So you can go out and buy into an index fund, which offers you a huge selection of companies, which helps you diversify, and the expenses to run are very low compared to mutual funds. So if you use $1,000 to buy into an index fund, not only you enjoy diversification, but you get to enjoy very low fees and expenses, because an index fund is not actively run, it's a passively run fund, which usually grows over time about 7%. Index funds are great if you don't want to have too many headaches, and there is so many out there. Vanguard is a very trusted and well-known company in the area of index funds, and they offer a great selection of funds. An example of this kind of funds is VTSAX, which offers 1.63% annually in dividend payments, and if you match this with a fund rising 7 or 8% every year, then you get to enjoy a very nice benefit for a very small cost, especially if the Fed keeps bailing out these big companies out there. If you like the idea of dividends, Vanguard has another fund called VYM that's specifically designed to offer high dividend payments, and if you buy into it, you get to enjoy a very easy $25 annually just by buying into an index fund. And again, what I want to stress here is that dividend payments are not your only upside if you buy into the right thing. Dividend payments matched with a good company or a good fund is what makes this work. You're $1,000 to buy into a good index fund, and then if the index fund appreciates, then you get to enjoy a win-win, which is dividend payments from the profits and the appreciation of the company. If you guys like the idea of index funds, I would suggest that you go out and look for a great book by J.L. Collins. It's called The Simple Path to Wealth, and he goes into great depth of how great index funds are and the benefits they offer. So moving on to the next thing, guys, the next thing is, drumroll, YouTube, and that's the platform we're on right now. Now YouTube, as me and you both know, it's a very actively run business. It's a lot of time, it requires a lot of effort editing, and it requires you to take it seriously. Definitely not to self with this one, but if you actually take YouTube seriously, and this is something I'm starting to realize now too, the potential is unbelievable. What I'm talking about is, let's say that you upload enough content and you monetize this channel, pray for me, and you have enough content uploaded up there that you have created once, and now it's up there on your channel and people just visit your channel. Now these videos are like assets that they keep producing income for you day in and day out, and they're just being created and uploaded once. It's a very elegant way of having passive income coming in, as long as you put in the first initial effort to upload the first video. And again, back to the $1,000 example, if you use this $1,000 to buy equipment for YouTube, like a camera and a YouTube setup, the amount and the return on investment you can get back is mind-blowing when you start taking YouTube seriously. Now, since we're in the topic of YouTube and this whole influencer era, there is something better than YouTube that can offer you more money, and that is another passive way to make money. This is podcasts. Now, podcasts are a very hot market right now, and for a very good reason. They are newer than YouTube in the sense that they started later than YouTube, and they pay more per 1,000 listeners than YouTube does. The benefit of podcasts is that if you're just starting out and you don't have a following, as I was doing this video, I found out about a company. This video is not sponsored, I wish it was, but it isn't. But there is a company out there and a podcast network which is not as saturated as YouTube. It's called Anchor, and it allows you to monetize your podcast without any followers. Doing my research, I found out you can get paid as much as $15 per ad if you have at least 1,000 listeners, per 1,000 listeners. So I'm gonna put a link in the description down below. You guys can check it out if you want. It's a great podcast network. You can get started without even having a single listener and then start building from there. A benefit of podcasts over YouTube is that you don't even have to use $1,000 to start making money, and passive money, since we talked about having a backlog of podcasts and people listen to them and then you upload them once and you keep making money. Two benefits of podcasts over YouTube is, firstly, that you don't need a fancy setup or a fancy camera to get started. All you need is a mic, maybe a Yeti. Even if you want the highest end mic out there, like for example the thing that Joe Rogan uses, that's not even close to $1,000. So the startup costs on podcast is so much lower, and the market is so much hotter than YouTube right now. For example, if on YouTube you make a CPM of $15, which means if you get paid, let's say $15 per 1,000 views, then you're definitely considered a high baller. $15 per 1,000 views doesn't come around that easy on YouTube, but on podcasts and definitely on Anchor, you can get that. And if you put 2 ads on your podcast, you can get $30 per 1,000 listeners. So again, great thing to check out, guys. Check out Anchor, give them a go. Great company. They're very well known in the space and they're doing very well. Another benefit of podcasts is that you don't even have to show your face. All you need is a mic and something to talk about. It's a great idea. Just like YouTube, the same idea applies. If you have a lot of podcasts uploaded and people keep listening to them, then you keep making money and they keep giving you passive income. And the startup cost is not substantial at all. So moving on to the next thing number 5, it's affiliate marketing. And this is truly passive. Since we're in the influencer era, affiliate marketing is, let's say that you review a camera or you talk about a product or like something you use and you talk to your fan base or to your audience about it, then you just put a link in the description down below and people click to it, and then if people click to the link that guides them, for example, to Amazon through the Amazon affiliates program, and they buy something, you get paid a tiny small commission from whatever they bought, even if it's not the item that's listed there. So this is a great way to make passive income, especially if you do it dishonestly and you tell people the truth of the things that you use, of the things that they benefit you, because people want to buy the things that make your life better because they like to see what other people like to use. So this is a great way to make money. Affiliate marketing. Amazon has a great affiliates program. Most big shot YouTubers use it. Again, how this works, you just put a link in the description or a link on your blog or a link on your Instagram account, and then this takes your audience to Amazon, and if they buy something from Amazon, even if it's not the listed item, you just get paid a tiny small commission from it. You know, in the making of this video, I was thinking to wrap things up here, but that's not fair to you guys. You know why? Because the holy grail of investing and passive income is real estate. And although you cannot buy a rental property for $1,000, we'll have to find a way to squeeze real estate in here. And the next best thing that has to do with real estate is a REIT. An REIT is a real estate investment trust. And it's very similar to an index fund, but it has to do with real estate. So for example, if you buy into an REIT, it's just like you're buying a very tiny percentage of whatever properties they're held within this trust. There is so many REITs out there, and it's great. Like, you get to enjoy the benefit of the pride of ownership. You can say that you own a tiny percentage of huge hotels, of huge shopping centers. There is so many kinds of REITs out there. I'm gonna list a few down here so you can get an idea. Some of them pay dividends, some of them they appreciate over time. The first thing that comes to mind when people talk about passive income is real estate. That's more of a bonus round, so you guys should look out for REITs, and you can choose what area you want to focus on. You can focus on hospitality, or you can focus on shopping centers, or you can focus on residential real estate or senior housing. There is so many REITs out there, and it's a great way to get started in real estate investing if you don't have the money to get a rental property first. Now here's the thing, guys, since this video comes close to an end, I want to mention something. Investing $1,000, me and you both know that's not gonna get you extraordinary returns. Like, you cannot go out and buy Bugattis with that, you cannot go out and buy rental properties with that, but approach this more like a stepping stone in the beginning for you guys if you want to start your investment portfolio. A big principle of making money is reinvesting, so you can get started with $1,000. Just dip your feet into the water, test things out, approach it like a learning experience, try things out. Don't overthink small amounts like this. Don't overthink your moves, don't overthink your next step. And I want to promise you one thing: if you stick to it, you keep reinvesting your time and you keep reinvesting your money, and you keep doing your best and executing and learning, I promise you, if you stick to it, you'll get it, and the returns you'll get back will be mind-blowing. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate it if you subscribe down below if you haven't already. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, although I've been gone for quite some time. I promise you will upload the next video very soon. I'll catch you guys on the next one.